Folks, I have a confession to make. I know I've scoffed at the idea of chemtrails in the past, and I'm certainly not a believer in technology that could control something as powerful as a hurricane. But that's actually what my confession is about. It appears I was wrong. An apparent sovereign citizen of all people has provided me with the actual patent for a hurricane and tornado control device. Sovereign citizens, in my experience, aren't known for fact-checking. So of course I took a look just in case this trend continued. And sure enough, there it is. A device that uses audio generators to affect the formation of the weather system in a manner to disrupt, enhance, or direct the formation. Wow. But wait. These pictures don't really tell us anything about the device. See, according to the Patent and Trademark Office, your invention has to be able to be used and requires a clear description of how to make and use the invention. The applicant merely states at least 2 loud sound generators would direct audio waves at rotating clouds. They can be positioned to either push the clouds in the direction they are already rotating, increasing the rotational speed, and therefore, in theory, the intensity of the weather system, or they can be positioned to push against the clouds, slowing the rotation and, in theory, reducing the intensity of the weather system. Sort of like this. There are a couple of issues. The necessary decibel level to achieve this is never addressed, which perhaps isn't a requirement for the patent itself, but the application explicitly states the audio generators, quote, are not part of the inventive concept per se, end quote. So it appears to me that this patent isn't for an actual device, it's for the idea of where to position a device that isn't being patented by the applicant. I'm not sure that's enough for a patent to be approved. But what does it matter what I think? I'm not the guy reviewing patents professionally. But we do have clues regarding what that guy, the one reviewing the patent, thought about this. The patent was submitted on November 2nd, 2001. On May 21st, 2003, the submission received a non-final rejection, meaning it was not successful because it failed to meet certain requirements. But the applicant was given the opportunity to make some necessary adjustments. Unfortunately, despite receiving an extension of time, the applicant was unable to make those corrections, and the application received its final rejection on October 23, 2003. It was marked abandoned for failure to respond to an office action on July 26, 2004. Not great. But why was it rejected? I couldn't say for sure, but we do see this. AIA, first invented to file, no. And once again, he wasn't filing a patent for a device, he was filing a patent for where those devices, if they existed, would go. So, was he the first person to come up with the relevant concepts? Well, did scientists know sound can create a pressure wave that exerts a force before 2001? Yes. Did scientists know that if you take 2 devices that create a pressure wave, face them towards each other, and offset them slightly, you could add or take away energy from a vortex in 2001? Yes. Did scientists know that by increasing the pressure of the wave, a larger vortex could be affected in 2001? Yes. I think maybe we're starting to see why this patent never went anywhere. I do want to remind you that just because a patent is filed does not mean the thing that was patented will work. Or it might mean that it would work in theory, but the technology or material to make it happen doesn't exist yet. Let me give you an example. Astatine is a highly radioactive element with a half-life of, at most, about 8.1 hours. This makes it extremely rare, and although it can be created in a lab, only 0.00000005 grams have ever been produced. Now let's say a scientific discovery has been made proving that astatine could be an incredible fuel source if there was enough of it, which there currently isn't. You could, in theory, patent the device it would fuel designed around the known properties of astatine. You could even build a device. You just wouldn't be able to test it because the fuel just doesn't exist in the necessary quantities. However, if a method to produce the fuel ever becomes viable, you might have the patent for an engine it might power. Well, this also assumes that the patent gets past the disclosure to the Department of Energy stage per 37 U.S.C. 1.14 Delta. Patent law is complicated. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter because the weather control device wasn't patented. It was rejected. And that brings us to the matter of detecting deception. Do I think the person who posted this on Facebook is being deceptive? Yes, I do. I don't necessarily think they actually read the patent, but if they truly knew their way around patents, like they claimed in their original post, this should have been obvious to them. So either they're lying about their expertise, or they're intentionally misleading people. Both are bad options. But what do you think? What other conspiracies have you heard? What's your favorite type of vacation? Let me know in the comments. Consider liking this video. It really helps the algorithm, which means more people will learn that they can stop worrying about this patent being evidence of a weather control machine. Subscribe to learn about more interesting conspiracies, and until the next time, be good, stay safe.